Hi, my name is Kalina Bone, and I'm the director and co-producer of Divine Pleasure, a short documentary exploring the intersection of spirituality and sex. The backstory behind this film comes from the sexual liberations that we've seen from the 1960s and even before that. Every time a new generation comes of age, coincidentally, there's a sexual revolution, and in these sexual revolutions, we redefine what sex means for us. Divine Pleasure will talk about the sexual revolutions from the 1960s to now. In the 60s, people were really separating themselves from Christianity, homophobic and transphobic beliefs, and really starting that journey to understanding that sex can be more expansive than what we've been told through a white supremacist lens. Progressive terminology was actually one of the down points of the 1960s sexual revolutions. Because of the terms like sex positivity, people felt like to wear the term as a badge of honor and that they are a comrade, basically, they had to have more sex, or they had to have sex with multiple partners, or they had to have sex that they weren't necessarily actually open to having, just to prove that they were actually a part of the liberation movement. The sexual revolution of the 2010s, focusing on Generation Y, really centered the digital age and completely separating themselves from the familial structures that they grew up in. In this time period, Tinder and Facebook were really popular, and people were using online formats and platforms to interact, whether that be actually having intercourse, sharing nudes, sexting, the whole 9 yards. People began to realize that it's not as easy as getting online and connecting with another person. There's more involved to sexual interactions and intimacy to make it something that is healing and beneficial for both parties. The shift in mindset came about around the time and popularity with wellness, really improving ourselves. Generation Z's sexual liberation took knowledge from past generations' experiences using technology and community like Tinder and Facebook, but now use TikTok and Discord to talk about a whole array of issues and topics that they found interesting. As time went on, people became more open and honest about their sexual experiences and what they were actually finding pleasurable, and changing the framework of their mindset so that they could go into these spaces in a more comfortable and confident headspace. Through our research, we discovered that these conversations about better, more fulfilling, and pleasurable sex were being facilitated through spiritual schools of thought and practitioners. Our quest during this film is to really understand why progressive terminology like sex positivity, sexual revolution, sexual liberation was not enough and doesn't actually support us in understanding our sexuality and raising the standard of sexual experiences based on the knowledge that they had learned from their peers. So basically using terminology like shadow work instead of sex positivity and sexual liberation. What about progressive language did not help people harness and understand their sexuality, where generational and ancestral practices within spirituality are actually helping people identify what they desire, identify what they deserve, and reclaiming their sexuality and sensuality. And we're really excited to get this film out there. Every like, share, dollar, contribution, loan really helps us get this film on the way being completed. So we really appreciate anything that you can offer, even if it's just telling a friend. We love all the support that we've gotten so far, and we really appreciate everything that everyone has offered to us.